Welcome back to the Skegness Distillery. My name is Sam Clark and I'm a digital marketing manager, and today I will be presenting session 2 of 2 on Instagram. So, what do they often say about businesses and customer service and everything really? First impressions count. And on Instagram, that is so important. You really do need to make sure that you're building a very strong visual identity. So consistency is key. Don't think that just because you have Instagram, you need to post on it all the time. You're better off thinking about the kinds of images you can create and planning them ahead. A good example of that would be getting a professional photographer to come to your business to collect a wide range of pictures of your business and products or services and staff and customer interactions, those kinds of things. That's far more impactful. One thing that is key to consider are things like accessibility. So for example, if you know you have customers with disability access issues, or perhaps they're far older than a lot of people, you want to make sure that the images you use do showcase those facilities. You want to sell your business to your customers with Instagram. They've got to see it visually because that's the only way you can do it on Instagram. So if you have ample parking, if you can get a great picture that shows that parking and you can show that access is easy, you can show that there is catering to people with disabilities, that is a great thing to do because it's going to make sure that customers think, actually, they are a good option for me. They do seem to have everything I want. So another thing that's important to consider are Reels. Reels are being pushed very hard by Instagram. And what that means is that they are taking preference over Reels over other things. So if you put up a Reel, which is a video, people will see that and they're more likely to see that because Instagram has decided they want people to see more Reels than they see images. So you may have a really good image that you put on your feed, but it may not get the reception or response that a Reel would get because Instagram is trying to push out a new feature. So Reels are really good to use, and Reels can be a mix of videos and photos. You can put things together, edit them together using software, or you can do it on your own phone, or you can just record short pieces out and about and then upload them as Reels to your Instagram. Another thing that's really good with Instagram is that you can get customer feedback and responses using surveys and polls. Typically these things sound quite boring. They're often an email survey and people see it and they think, I'll do that another time, I'm not going to do that now. But what you can do with Instagram is use very strong imagery and videos and then have little buttons on those images that say, what do you think of this? You can have comparison polls. You can say yes or no to a question. Or you can have, what do you think about this? So people can answer those questions directly, sending you direct messages. This can be a really fun and active way to get good responses from your customers. So there are loads of different things you can do with Instagram. It is not as simple as just posting an image to your feed. You can geotag locations, and what I mean by that is you can say, this picture was taken in this place. So for example, your business, if it's tagged on the map, you can say, this photo was taken at my business, and you can encourage customers to do that as well. So if you've got good customers, they can share authentic imagery of them in that business, which is great. You can also use hashtags as well. So if you've got a hashtag for your own business, like on Twitter, you can just use that. You can put that in there and tag the image as being your image. So if people search for your business, those are the images that will appear. And the same thing for events. Again, to improve your visibility, if there are events going on, you can use those hashtags to piggyback onto those things. So what do I mean when I say post images and post interesting stuff and you can tag it and make it great, What really do you need to actually share? You're probably thinking, well, that's great, but what do I photograph? What do I do? So for example, if you're a hotel, what you would want to do is make sure you are capturing great images of the facilities. You're really trying to sell the experience of that hotel. So for example, great wide angle lens photos of rooms is a great way to show what the space is going to be like when someone's staying in it. If you've got beautiful frontage, you want to get a nice photo of the front of the hotel. You may want to get the concierge if you have one, smiling staff, creating that feeling of being welcome to the place. If you sell food at the hotel, again, you're going to want those beautiful images of food and drink, and you're really trying to sell that experience. So my earlier comment about consistency is exactly that. It's what are we trying to say as a business? Who are we as a business, and how do we express that visually? How do we convey the message that we need to convey? If you're a restaurant, again, you want great examples of the food and the drink, but also you may want to be a bit more personable with that. You may say, well, actually, our chef is amazing. He's got loads of awards, so we're going to have some really authentic images of him actually cooking in the kitchen. You may have some reels of him doing his thing. You want to impress people. You want to find ways to make people go, wow, this is great. This place looks amazing. I'd love to go. And if you're an event, you'd want images of people having lots of fun. You want lots of colour, you want action, you want vibrancy. And again, you want it to be consistency, whether it's a video or a photo. And if you're a museum, for example, you may think about showing pictures of the actual exhibits and things that you have in your museum. Now, I understand a lot of businesses would say, well, why would we do that? Because the main experience is actually the exhibit. Why would we want to show that? If we show everything, then surely people have just seen that already. But that's not true. What you're trying to do is say, look at how great this is. You can come and visit it. You don't have to give everything away, but if you use your highlights and the best things that you've got, then that is the draw. It's a bit like having a trailer for a movie. So you may be thinking, actually, I think I'm going to struggle with this. How am I going to get all these great photos? I don't have the budget to do it. Well, the reality is with all social media, including Instagram, if the resources aren't there, don't commit to them. Because if you use bad images and bad photos and bad videos, that is going to make an impression on people as well. But sadly, it's going to be a negative impression. So sometimes you're better off not doing things. But if you can do things and use great images, then absolutely you must do so. And that brings us to the end of the sessions on Instagram. I hope you found those helpful, and I hope that you have a great experience trying Instagram and playing around with it. And if you're already doing it, great work.